everybody, welcome back to The New Nasty Boys. I'm your co-host this morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you decide to watch or listen to this thing, Billy DeVore. And sitting next to me is my co-host,
Chris Weird. What's up, Nasty Nation? Welcome back to the Fart Dungeon. Good to have you back.
Good to have you in the stench corner, baby.
Yeah, you're in it now. You're in the musk zone. Watch out.
The musk zone. One thing I have started doing in public at gatherings is I look at somebody and then I go to one part of the room, just go over to a corner, and then I fart and I wait, and they look at me and they go, "What are you doing?" And I go, "I'm establishing a fart corner."
That's really nice of you to take the wheels on that. And also, it's a very alpha male thing to do.
Thank you. Yeah, I learned it from Andrew Tate while he was in prison.
Exactly. That's what you do. First thing you do, first up, you put a blanket around where you guys got to take a shit. No one wants to see you take a shit. And then you establish a fart corner. Normally, it is the same part of the bathroom, but not always.
Not always. It depends on your mood and the setup of said bathroom.
And you can, kind of shoot it out through the bars. So, corner of the wall and bars.
Yeah.
Fart area.
Fart area. It's almost like you want to position the hole perfectly right in the corner, so then it just traps and stays in that corner and hopefully goes up and gets lost in the ether.
Or if it's like one of those like glass things where there's, you fart through like the door where they slide the oatmeal through. Do one of those.
Oh yeah, just like when you go to like a gas station, really sketchy area town, when you pull out to get your smoke,
Yeah.
see your tall boy, just fart in that.
Do that.
And then they put it back in, like, "Oh, you farted."
No, very nice of you. Very dapper. And you carved Brooks was here.
Brooks farted here. It's got a nice brown hue to it. Oh man. Oh, we started this off how the Reds played this week. A gas.
Real dirty.
Real
Stinky.
So we're gonna delay that as much as possible. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. All things considered, I'm doing good. Been a little busy this week trying to get Future Science going here. That's the sketch show we've been talking about. So we've been shooting some videos, doing some writing, coordinating logistics, all that fun stuff. But it actually has been fun, like the video shoots we've been doing. You were at one yesterday.
Yeah, I was. I wore my finest thrift suit that I procured.
You look good. You pulled it off, man.
Thank you. What did Carl call me? Fatty Arbuckle?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. He was like, "You look like Fatty Arbuckle." And I was like, "Is that a fat crack?" He was like, "No, he wore short ties."
Ah.
And then I was like, "Oh, okay." Then I just never Googled who Fatty Arbuckle was. So I'm going to take that as a compliment.
I'm trying to think. Friends of Fatty. No, I'm confusing some dudes.
Okay, I just don't. I know he was like he said he was an actor.
No, I am thinking of the right one. He was the guy that had a big thing around him because he accidentally killed a woman during sex because he was on top of her and he was very fat, and I think he may have had some sort of health issue.
Yeah.
And she died.
Sure.
So that kind of put him out of the limelight for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he got back in during something in the 30s and 40s with a certain party of Nazis.
Oh, no.
And he was kind of a spokesperson.
Oh, God. Really?
I'm pretty sure if I'm thinking of the right Fatty Arbuckle.
I love how I put in fatty and it goes Fatty Arbuckle into Google, and then it goes fatty liver disease.
Oh, man.
Fatty Arbuckle, fatty liver, Fatty Arbuckle wiki, Fatty Arbuckle cause of death. We all know that one. His name was Fatty Arbuckle. Okay.
I could be misremembering because there's a Friends of Faye was like the thing that was like the propaganda thing that they were using, because I think this guy was mostly like very religious, and he saw the side of the Nazi party as more religious than the other.
Sure.
And he became the de facto spokesperson for a little bit, but it was also like him trying to get back in the limelight. Interesting.
There's a lot here. Oh, Roscoe Arbuckle's Plantation Cafe. How about that?
I got to look up because there was like 18 names back in the 30s and 40s of like, especially comics. They're like Jackie, Benny, Jackie again.
Jackie, Benny. I'm looking
Who
here.
was the old comic?
You know what?
Crushed.
This is a very long Wikipedia page. Some might say it could you could cut some fat from it.
Yeah.
Right? Huh? Right?
Yeah. I'm seeing Roscoe Arbuckle. I'm assuming it's the same guy.
It's the same guy. But he went by Fatty because, big guy. Big fat fella. I don't see anything about him being attached to Nazis at all. I do see that. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Ultimately, the judge found no evidence of, the R word. Is supposedly this lady accused him of doing something to her that she didn't really want, which was with his wiener. And ultimately, the judge found no evidence of it. After hearing testimony from party guests Zabe Pravon and Rappy, said, Roscoe hurt me on her deathbed. The judge decided that Arbuckle could be charged with first-degree murder. Brady had originally planned to seek the death penalty, but the charge was later reduced to manslaughter. After 3 weeks in jail, he was released on bail for $5,000.
That was a lot of money back then.
That's a ton of money. That's like $80,000.
And I do want to say it was not Fatty Arbuckle that was the Nazi sympathizer. It was Frankie Faye.
Hey!
I apologize. It was the Friends of Frankie Faye.
Okay.
That was the movement. And Frankie Faye was also credited as being one of the first stand-ups ever. But yes, later he got more popular with the Nazis.
Okay, there we go. Duly noted.
Figured it out. Where are you going to get this in any other baseball podcast? Come on.
I don't think so,
Fatty
man.
Arbuckle. Frankie Faye.
Hey, you're learning a lot here. Now I really do want to know how he died, because that is just sheer curiosity. Here we go. On June 28th, 1933, Arbuckle had finished filming In the Dough.
In the dough. Love it.
The last of the Vitaphone 2 reelers, 4 of which had already been released. The next day, he signed a contract with Warner Brothers to star in a feature-length film. That night, he met with friends to celebrate his first wedding anniversary and the new contract when he reportedly said, "This is the best day of my life." He suffered a heart attack later that night and died in his sleep at the age of 46.
And I'm sure there's a slide whistle played at the end.
Then this is very odd. His widow, Addie, requested that his body be cremated according to Arbuckle's wish. How would he know? How would she know that he wanted to be, thrown into an oven?
Well, he was probably very fond of his oven. A very fat man, loved pastries.
Not going to argue with that.
Ovens are good.
Ovens are great.
Making food.
Ovens are great, especially if you're friends of Fannie Mae. Is that what it was?
Freddie Faye. Frankie Faye.
Frankie Faye.
Yeah.
Loved ovens.
He did.
He sure did.
He did.
Oh, man. That sucks. Imagine you just had the best day of your life. You're like, man, I got my life back on track. I got over 2 trials. I'm a free man. I'm back in the picture biz. And then your heart's like, fuck you.
Fuck you, fatty.
Fuck you, fatty.
Arguably, that's probably a good time to go when you're on top of the world,
Sure.
And you're just thinking about bunnies.
Think about sticky buns.
Tell me about the bunnies, George.
Tell me.
That's when you want one in the back of the dome. And at the top of the game,
That's
fatty.
true, because then you're at the top of the mountain. You can't come down. Mm-hmm. Because, it's just like dying at the top of Everest.
True. And when you die, that's the status you contain, as a ghost. You never move down. Or up.
Or up. Now he's just haunting that Krispy Kreme donut shop.
Not bad.
He broke in, ate some donuts, took a nap, never got back up.
True story.
True story. Fatty Arbuckle here on the new Nasty Boys. We really went down that rabbit hole.
I know.
I'm fine with it.
I knew it. I knew it was something close to that.
Yeah.
I had to figure it out. I didn't want to besmirch a dead guy from that long ago.
You know what he wasn't a friend of? He was not a friend of Jenny Craig.
No, hey, come on.
Oh, fat guy making jokes about fat guys from the 40s.
Talk about what you know.
Yeah, hey, I'm sweating after looking at that. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. But yeah, it was the very thin tie. I was wearing a very thin tie, so that's why Carl was like, hey, you look like Fatty Arbuckle. And that sounds nothing like Carl.
It was pretty good, though.
Thanks. That's just how he sounds in my head.
It was pretty good, general, voice to use for anybody that you're, trying to quote. I like it.
Thank you. Just an overall very off-putting, high-pitched impression. I didn't have anything there for you. But, yeah, we filmed that on Sunday.
It was great.
It was so fun.
We had to put, it was the first time I've done a shoot where we had to put a warning that there is a prop firearm being used. We've used prop guns and stuff before, but this one looked legit real.
Oh, yeah. If you were walking around, say, the streets of Cleveland, a cop would probably take you out.
Yeah, that was something like I did not feel comfortable having around me, especially because we were like, it's not like we're doing like a very official sort of shooting. Like we were shooting last week and we were using it too, and we're in a place like in a glass like room where people can see from the outside. And if like any cop or anybody sees us like waving around like one of those like 6-shooter like revolver things,
Yeah.
they're not gonna be, they're filming a stupid sketch. You can clearly tell.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell because half of them are wearing suits. They got a Goodwill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And that guy has fake blood coming down from his sweatband. Oh, they're clearly parodying Deer Hunter.
Exactly.
Oh, this is totally fine. I'm a film buff who's a cop. Never happened.
No.
Never ever happened.
But it was a really good time. I did really appreciate the devotion to making it look real.
It did, and it looked great. Everyone killed it. No pun intended. And it was very funny watching our friends put a prop gun in their mouth.
Yeah. Watching somebody put a gun in their mouth and everyone else around them just starts laughing like it's hilarious. Like, he's got it on, so that's great. Now you do it.
You do it. Oh, man. What did I say after Carl put it in his mouth? I was like, well, Cumming's different for him now. That was so fun. Yeah, that was super fun to do on. That's a nice way to mix up a Sunday, too. Film some sketch comedy.
Yeah, it was good. Got that out of the way with, went relatively quick. And the day before that, we were filming in, it's a Commonwealth Sanctuary. It's a new comedy club in Kentucky. You've heard us talk about it. But
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and it's a church. And so we needed a scene with a church. And so that came into play. And thank you guys for letting us film there. It was crucial. It just made the scene absolutely work. And that was fun because I got to dress up in like a priest garb, like up and down, and had like all the accoutrement there. So probably sacrilegious to some people. Can't wait to get some text messages from the family if they see that. But I had a blast, dude. That was so much fun.
And I got to see the rough cut of it, and it's so funny. You did such a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, people need to come out Sunday and see this because it's going to be so fun. It's going to be a great show, and it's good getting all the guys back together to do this because you're too talented not to be together and make this because it's so funny every single time you guys get together.
Oh, thank you. It's a lot of fun to put on.
Yeah.
But, that was pretty much my week. What about you? What'd you have going on, buddy?
Oh, what did I do? I had a show. We did Chameleon together Thursday. Mm-hmm. Friday, I did a set on Saturday at Comet. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think about what else.
You were making some wings and stuff?
Oh, yeah, Sunday. I got the egg fired back up. I smoked 6 pounds of chicken wings.
There he goes.
I smoked 3 planks of salmon, and then I grilled up some burgers for dinner.
And I punched a cow in the face.
Yeah,
went around kicking chickens.
Yeah, now my neighbors are missing 2 of their dogs. So we ate about 12 pounds, but they butchered up real nice and smoked real easy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it wasn't too crazy of a week. I'm trying to, was there anything else that I did? And I really don't think so. Just because I'm getting prepped up and ready for Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Your days are just filled.
They are chock filled, man. Tomorrow I'm doing a podcast, and then don't have anything on the books Wednesday, Chameleon Thursday, then try to find a set on Friday, and then record on Saturday.
Hell yeah, dude. It's going to be fun. And you've been running this set a whole bunch lately.
Yeah.
How's it feel? You getting like a little bit burnt out on the sets? Or are you feeling like, because every time I see you, I feel like you're adding like a new tag or something. So that's fun for me. But I know if you're trying to like prep for recording something, sometimes you just think like, man, have I said this so many times? Like you need to get burnt out.
Yes.
Are you at that point?
That's what I've been trying to avoid is burnout. Mm-hmm. And so by going working, doing the podcast Monday, as in talking with you and getting into rhythm of just saying stuff is also me prepping because then I've just communicated and talked for over an hour straight.
For sure.
So it's like there's that prep. I'm doing another podcast Tuesday. So that's just more talking. Mm-hmm. And then Thursday, it's just one joke I need to iron out, and then I'm done because I haven't. Maybe find something Friday, but I haven't overdone it.
That's good
because that's what I've learned since. That's what the pandemic taught me is I was doing it too much and getting burned out, and so really just taking some time in between and like having like 1 or 2 days on the calendar a week or one every 2 weeks or something to be able to take a deep breath and not look at it like, oh, I gotta go do this. It's like, I get to go do this.
Exactly. There's a fine line between like, this is awesome and this is work.
Yeah.
You know, and like a lot of times, like having like a baseball player sit out for a game, just chill and just really appreciate, maybe watch something, and just kind of, you know, gear back up, and all of a sudden, bam, you just feel like you want to be up on stage. So that's good.
Because also you could be sitting there watching and you pick something up. And you're like, oh, this is what I was doing wrong. Because you needed to take yourself out of the situation, take a deep breath, and be like, oh, I was forcing, or maybe there was something wrong here that I'm doing, or whatever. So one thing I did today is I was going through my camera, and I put it in, and I found a whole bunch of tapes, and I was like, oh shit, there are so many jokes I haven't done in so long that I just forgot about, where I'm like, cool, once I record this, then I immediately have other stuff to work on to get the next thing rolling.
Dude, that's rad.
That feels good.
I need to get better about being in the habit of recording on yourself, like even just like audio, so you have like a mental note of something, because there's so many times where you just don't recall how you possibly set something up, or a little aside that you didn't think of that was in the moment.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're telling these things out at bars a lot of times, and places you might have a few drinks. It's just easy to forget, you know.
My muscle memory has always been, since I started, I take my phone, I have my voice memos, and I hit it.
Nice.
Every time. Every single time. There is never not a time I have something recording.
That's amazing. That's really good. I am in an opposite camp.
Yeah.
I used to be in the habit of it, but after the pandemic, I kind of fell out of some habits, including recording.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I have to tell myself, like, hey, unless there's something specific, like I'm already going to like have a camera set up for it. But just like when you're going out to mics or just telling something new, if you don't record, it's pretty easy to not remember something that went well.
Oh, absolutely. Because then you're just like, oh yeah, that was fun. That was cool. All right, I need another beer.
Yeah, you just feel like this. It just goes off in the ether. There's so many of those things that, even if it's not like a big joke, you can turn it into or throw it into another joke that you already have, and then something eventually might pitter patter off of it. So yeah,
like 2 lines from a joke that you haven't done it forever. You take it, and then next thing you know, you're like, oh, I have a whole new angle for this.
Absolutely.
And now I have a whole other way to attack it, and then it's completely different and way better. So. This is exciting stuff.
I know. Tuning in for the baseball podcast. We covered Fatty Arbuckle.
Joke structure, joke writing, preparation,
cooking wings,
smoking wings, murdering my neighbor's dog and eating it. Mm-hmm. You know, all the essentials for us to get sponsored by Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. That's so.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Let's launch right into it. The St. Louis Cardinals released their City Connect uniforms, and they're terrible. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Reds fan. I'm saying that because they are technically terrible. They're bland. They're boring. Holy crap. Did they just miss the mark and make the most vanilla, awful, most boring City Connect that has come out ever?
I think you went a little easy on them. No, I completely agree. A lot of times I'm in the middle, but especially we'll start off with the main logo on the hat, the STL. It looks like they're in a penal league. Nothing about that is exciting. It could be a very easy. Why not take the patch that they have on their left or right sleeve? Their right sleeve doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have the Fleur de Lis or whatever it is. That St. Louis Fleur de Lis, and the arch that looks like a much better front insignia than what the STL is.
Couldn't agree with you more, pal. It just looks like someone went copy paste.
Yeah, like I've had to turn in projects, early too, or I've forgotten about dates. This definitely feels like, oh, when's it due? And then like, oh shit, tomorrow? Like it's so very basic. And like, I'm not saying basic is wrong.
No.
There's a lot of great basic stuff that I really enjoy, but this just feels like they took so little time with it. I do like the texture thing. Like, it's very subtle. They have, like, this wave thing going on that you can't really see.
Yeah, but it's the river, and they've done that with so many other uniforms outside of baseball, too.
True.
Like, Nike did that with FC Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. Or, sorry, Adidas did that with FC Cincinnati with, oh, it's the river kit, and it looks way better than this.
True.
This is just someone went, hey, can we put some squiggles and some pinstripes?
Yeah, and they have the Lou is what they're calling it on front. So they have a very similar font to their standard Cardinals font, but the way it looks like it's just kind of peeling off the front. Like it kind of the T and the wraps around the bat a little bit, and the L just starts to kind of fall off. Visually, it's extremely upsetting. And I think the birds are talking about how they each want to kill themselves for being on such a disgusting logo. Do you not care about your fan base?
Clearly not. Nike could give two shits.
No.
It's the same chest logo with worse font.
Yeah, much less consideration put into like the spacing of the font. It's garbage through and through. The only thing that would be a redeeming factor is that little patch that they have that seemed to be like the afterthought of what should have been reverse all that. Have all the big stuff they put so little time into, but the little side patch, I think they should have built something around that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I agree with you there. Like if that was, even if it was just the fleur-de-lis and the STL as the logo on the hat, that would have been even better than just the awful Prison League hat.
Totally. I thought they were going to do some more with the arch. Like that's what I felt they were going to do for it.
Sure.
And they completely went an opposite way of just like, no, we'll do nothing.
Yeah. Well, the thing, okay, I will give them credit because a lot of people were commenting and saying that they liked it because they're wrong, but they're like, man, I'm really glad they didn't lean into the arch. I'm really glad they didn't lean into it.
Do you think it's like way overdone for them?
Probably. I would have to assume. I mean, anytime you watch a sporting event and it's in St. Louis, what is the first shot you see?
Yeah, the arch.
Yeah. And in the video, I think they barely touched on it in the hype video. What they did touch on, though, was the toasted ravioli. And they touched on the Emo's pizza. Like, they did some of that stuff and, like, the blues culture and
that would have been so much better, like blues.
Dude, yeah. If they could have incorporated that a little bit more instead of just being like, here's the river. Check it out.
You guys know it's there. We stink.
Here's the same font that we've used forever on the hat. I get it. The birds are iconic, and the birds on the bat is iconic, and you have to do that. But I don't know, maybe a little twist, maybe a little bit of something different.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see a different twist on the birds. They had an opportunity to do something good. I just don't understand why go through the effort if you're just going to kind of skate through it and just piss away an opportunity to do something cool.
Why isn't this navy?
Yeah, dude.
If you would have had that navy and then the squiggle river lines be red, do you know how much better that would have popped?
And not to mention, even if you say you just made that blue and kept everything else the same, that at least is a different look that does seem different, but still coordinates with your standard uniform. This just seems like you got to squint your eyes like, oh yeah, they are wearing something different, I guess.
Yeah, it does look a little different because they've got white for home, they've got cream, they've got baby blue, and then grays for away. So I guess that maybe they've always, they used to have a red jersey, didn't they? At some point, I feel like that was in the late 70s and early 80s. Mm-hmm. Was they had a red pullover jersey.
Yeah, I can see that. But overall, it is just not fun. Visually,
boring.
There's nothing for you to chew on. And speaking just as a baseball fan, not a Reds fan, objectively, this is garbage.
Yeah. It's bad. And one of my favorite jokes I saw, just everyone posting around, is like, why would you call yourself the loo? Isn't that what you call a toilet?
Ah, there we go.
And I'm like, oh, it makes sense because these are shit.
They are shit.
They're
and it's
terrible.
like a little bit of a French thing there, too. The loo. Perhaps.
Yeah. It's just not good. But, the in-betweens we've gotten, like some really good ones, and then we've gotten some really bad ones. This is the one where it's so boring, it's bad.
Yeah, there's very little to talk about with it. The circle arm patch is the most exciting thing, and they chose that to just make like a little accent mark.
Yeah.
They really should have built around that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even the arch, even if they're bored with it, I still think visually the loo with the same birds, there's just nothing exciting there.
Yeah. Somebody said when they put up the Tampa Bay Ray with the skateboard, when that came out, St. Louis fan page quote tweeted and said, they're probably going to give our Cardinals Glocks.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which I'm like, that would have been awesome. Not happening.
Yeah, they all got like bandanas on, flashing gang signs.
One of the birds has a Band-Aid under its eye.
Oh, that'd be good. Oh my god, what if they just did like Nelly? That's all. They did like a Nelly hat.
Oh, dude, that would have been sick.
I would have bought one. Even like the fried ravioli, dude. I'd love a minor league team. The fried raviolis.
Yeah.
Get out.
That would have been so sick. I feel like, yeah, they missed it there, where a lot of people are like, with our City Connects, are like, how do you not incorporate a cheese coney? It's like, next time. Next time. We'll get another one. We'll get a new one in like 3 years. So, but I would have to say this is a bottom third. I think I might say this is the worst one. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the worst one.
I'm going to say this is at the basement for me.
This and then like the Los Dodgers, the first City Connect, where it was just blue jersey, blue pants, where it was so boring.
Yeah, it kind of looked like more of like a spring training jersey. It didn't look like there was some sort of like overall like big promotion or marketing thing going on. It's just like,
Right.
oh, that's just like a spring training jersey? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And then you're like, oh, that's blue pants. Oh, we're doing this thing now? We're just going to lean into doing City Connects and not... Okay, got it. Duly noted. So, oh well, another reason to fucking hate St. Louis.
Yep.
Boo. Bad.
Bad.
Very bad. Another thing that came out this week, according to Trisha Thompson of ESPN, the same reporter who broke the Ipe Mizuhara story about gambling, comes back at us with another bombshell. Turns out David Fletcher, who was teammates with Shohei Ohtani with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, also used the same bookie in California.
This story keeps growing.
This will get a little bit more fishy, for sure. Definitely more fishy. Do you think this reopens it for you, or are we just we're just going to keep giving Shohei carte blanche and say you're good?
It doesn't close the story, that's for sure. The story is still out there. It just shows that there was a lot more involvement from other people. It doesn't necessarily implicate Shohei, but it shows that it was more widespread than we knew. So the story has not reached an end. So who knows? Who knows if there's going to be any more blemishes on baseball's Mickey Mouse character here with Shohei. That's pretty much who they want to have a completely pristine, outlook for him, or you don't want to have anything, bad for his character. It represents all of baseball. But no, it doesn't close the book. It just makes it more of an interesting story here.
I just love how you call it. I was like, Shohei Ohtani, Mickey Mouse. And I was like, wait, I thought you were talking about David Fletcher because he's a little feller. A little guy. So, yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's definitely not. I think there is more. If Ipe was talking to the utility guy, David Fletcher, and was like, hey, I got a line on this guy. Like, how did not everybody else pick up on this? How was this not a bigger story? How did this not come out any sooner? And then how did Shohei not know if this is what's going on and this little feller's going around talking to the other little fellers trying to get more money riled up for his guy?
Yeah, dude. When a lot of people in the clubhouse know what's going on, but I can't imagine Shohei didn't quite exactly know there was something happening.
See, yeah, that's where I'm at with it now, where I'm like, that doesn't make sense that he was completely oblivious.
Yeah, I don't agree that he didn't know anything was going on.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean he was involved directly, but maybe through just looking the other way, because I mean, things get around. It's very difficult to keep secrets in a clubhouse.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the Angels, the teammates, even like equipment managers didn't know that there was something happening.
Sure. Now, okay, let me amend kind of what you just said there.
Okay.
When you said secrets in a clubhouse, what I think there is a ton of secrets in the clubhouse, and they all do a pretty excellent job keeping them in that clubhouse.
Oh yes, within the clubhouse, can probably be pretty tight, but inside, people
everyone
do know.
Knew. Yeah, so which means everybody knew. So if David Fletcher, utility man of 5'6" stature, who is in on this, there is going to be more.
Agreed.
And is it going to be more lead widespread, kind of like the situation with Spider Tack? that we had a couple years ago, where next thing you know, it's like, well, they didn't say we couldn't do it and everybody was using it. But in this situation, everyone knows not to bet on baseball or to gamble in general with an illegal sports book.
Very true.
Even though they didn't bet on baseball, there is still a crime being committed and still something going on. So I would have to assume that there is more people in this clubhouse within this organization when this was going on, and it might be more prevalent throughout the league and maybe with other teams in California.
Dude, absolutely. There's no way this is just a one-off thing in the Angels clubhouse. You know? Dude, there's DraftKings everywhere. I mean, people, all these players are walking out onto a field that is just littered with gambling paraphernalia.
Sure.
You're telling me that they aren't susceptible to some sort of, I don't know, wanting to bet on a sports game, whatever it is. I mean, they're professional athletes. They're at least interested in sports. I can imagine gambling might come along with it as well.
Sure. I mean, maybe, I don't know, it's tough to, decide, can I do it? Can I do it? Like what happened with the Tennessee Titans, I forget which player it was betting on not football. It was a different sport on the facility, and their IT team caught it, found it, reported it to the league, and then the guy got suspended for the rest of the year.
Wow.
So this guy, they just had a bookie. And this is also before gambling was legal across most of the United States and readily available on your phone.
Yeah, that's an interesting caveat there because because now it's just absolutely everywhere. Before you walk into a stadium, you can walk into a place to place a bet on the game.
Yep.
It's absolutely everywhere. And to think that it's not, infiltrating clubhouses now, you'd be a bit naive to think that.
Yep.
So this story isn't going to stop anytime soon, and I think there's going to be a lot more stories like it. I couldn't agree more. And I don't think it'll be a lot like it, just for the simple fact that it is easier to gamble now. I think I don't know how it'll work. I bet you can have a FanDuel account or something like that and bet in the off season or whatever and do whatever you want. But I don't know, man. I just think we'll see what happens with the rest of this and what federal prosecutors get from ePay, and be like, all right, give us the full laundry list, and then that goes public, and it's like, oh, it's a lot of the Angels roster from 2018. Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to the way people in Congress and the Senate shouldn't be allowed to buy and trade stocks. Oh. But they're going to. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen here. These players shouldn't be allowed to bet and gamble on these things that they are directly involved with being able to press their thumb on the scale, but it's going to be difficult to police. Yep. I mean, Tommy Tuberville has made millions of dollars hands over fist investing money into a defense contractor that's publicly traded. Yeah. And he's on the board to approve spending on defense. It is wild. It's wild. It's blatantly right there. We're all like, it's fine. Whatever. And the amount of minor league teams that Nancy Pelosi owns, and she's shorting them. That's what she's trying to do. That's right. She's trying to major league them. Exactly. I was just about to say, she's walking in with a cigarette in one of those holders and her pencil dress, just we're going to tear this thing to the ground. You got the Cleveland team with that life-size cardboard cutout of Nancy Pelosi where they're pulling off all the pieces where she's in a bikini with her fake knockers. Fake stinky knocks. Fake she dirty walks pillows. In, puts cigarettes out on the mascots. God damn. Quantitative Quiver. I think that's what it's called. It's a TikTok account. It's this dude who here's what all of the senators are investing in. Dude, it's crazy. And you can plug in and use his model and invest what they invest in. He's like, I'm up a ton. Yeah, the stock portfolios of our senators is gross. It's so cool, dude. Man, it's awesome. Capitalism. Woo! Yeah! You got to pull up your bootstraps and break the system. Screw you, poor person. Screw you, Pori. You're gross.
Speaking of gross, the Reds last week. We avoided it for a pretty good amount of time. We got 34 minutes in.
It's good.
We did a really good job without being negative about the Reds.
But here we go.
But here it is. It was bad. It was fucking terrible. There's just no other way to put it aside from just atrocious. They won 2. That's something.
Yeah, it was.
That's something, because they had only won 1 game before this week in the month of May, and they went on 1-2. That is really cool. They did it. They won 2. Ow, my nose itches. They won 2, and then they lost 5. That's, oh wait, no. They lost 6. Because they 4 against the Dodgers. 6. They lost 6. I just don't know how, watching this offense makes my brain rot.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. And there was some positive spots, and we'll get to them here. But overall, it was difficult.
It was dismal. Mm-hmm. Here is the best news of this whole thing. Mm-hmm. They're done with the West Coast for the rest of the year. They only have a 3 spot in Colorado, and that's not on the coast. That's in Colorado. So we're good. It's only a 2-hour difference.
Yeah, we'll take it, man.
Whew. And that was a brutal stretch.
It really was. There was some good competitive stuff we did see from some players, but all in all, as a team effort, the Reds just did not look like a competitive team.
No, and you can blame 80% of it on the offense.
Absolutely. There was a lot of good stuff happening with the bullpen. Minus, we'll get to it, a couple players. And offensively, there were some players stepping up, but not enough to override the fact of just abysmal, on base percentage, lack of productive hitting. The offense really pissed away some good starts by the starters and a great at least 1 game effort from that bullpen day that they had.
Yeah, and 2 of those starts from Hunter Green, a guy we've been a little bit harsh on and tough and hey, man, we really want to see you take that next step. He has. Mm-hmm. The problem is he's taken that next step while the offense has taken 2 steps backwards.
Correct.
So let's just look at these starters real quick. Ashcraft against the Snakes, he went, this is not good. It was not a good start. 4 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Not a good start, but not a terrible start. Enough to be like, okay, that mostly keeps us in it if we score runs. But they didn't.
Yeah, there's always going to be these large caveats that we keep talking about here because there's going to be some at least good, fair to even above average pitching that we're turning in here. But when you combine that with a almost total lack of offense, it just doesn't matter.
No, you can prevent runs, but you also have to score runs. And that's been the biggest problem here this week. Hunter Green against the Snakes. I mean, okay, the guy, 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, a walk, 5 Ks. Not a lot of Ks, but 7 innings and 2 earned runs through a splitter 6 times. Let's go. 101 pitches.
Yeah, I really like that. He threw that splitter about once an inning there. That's just enough to keep it, his hands familiar with it, and the batters thinking about it. He looked great. He was showing a lot more command with his pitches. He seemed to be on the game plan of I need to get deep into the game for my team, as opposed to I need to get as many strikeouts as possible for myself. So I think you're seeing a shift with him. He's leveling up, and you're seeing it from start to start. And again, it's unfortunate that meant nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I know. It does mean something continuing going forward because he parlayed that into his next start. And exactly right. Once per inning with that splitter makes him rethink hey man, what combo is he going to go with? Is he going to open with that, or is he just going to keep coming at me with gas? And the Diamondbacks aren't good at hitting fastballs. Mm-hmm. And it showed, especially when he threw that pitch, his 4-seamers 63 times, 62.4% usage on it, and took advantage of it. 5 Ks is good. Not his average, a little below, because he's at 6.5 per game, around 6. He's at 6, 7, 8 per game. But dude, that totally should get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. It should get the job done. You look at these numbers, you think like, oh yeah, absolutely. Here, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that 5 days a week. Andrew Abbott then, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Dude.
That's awesome.
There it is again. Attacking the zone, high and inside or high and outside, depending on where the batter's standing. Lived up top, worked down. Really cool. Changeup usage back up. 23.2% with 22 changeups.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
That's what we needed to see from him, and something that he didn't really have. And when he was getting shelled, he wasn't getting a good feel for that changeup.
I like that he has enough pitches and a nice confidence with himself to where he can adjust his game plan during the game. And I think that really helps now with the frequency of which people are able to like see your repertoire. They know how you're going to pitch them. They know so much about you. But if you can, be in control of yourself and change up how you're approaching batters during the game with what you have or what they're thinking, I think Andrew Abbott has shown the ability to be flexible on the mound.
Couldn't agree with you more there. He has shown that, and it's just good. He's got a feel for that change up again. And moving forward, especially when he's gonna have to see the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. Or no.
Yeah,
yeah. We'll get to that. But anyway, hopefully he rolls that over into his next start, and I think he will, especially coming home. And it's going to be warm, dude.
I dig it.
Gonna be warm, so which means the balls might fly a little bit more for this offense, but it also means he might be getting a better grip on that changeup, and that's all he was missing.
Yeah, I think that will help. And also offensively, I think he'll get some guys, get some dingers. I think that'll just be a huge weight off some of these dudes' shoulders.
Couldn't agree more, man. Man. Just any type of offensive liftoff. Oh, we'll get to it. That's how you keep teasing, dude. We're edging them about talking about this offense. Edging hard. And then we have that bullpen day, dude. What an effective use of Brent Suter, Emilio Pagan, and Justin Wilson.
Yeah, dude.
To play the first go-through of the lineup, matchup-wise, and then bringing in Nick Martinez to throw 5 innings, 1 hit, 4 Ks.
That is beyond what you're asking for this type of swing, dude. That was great. Bullpen, phenomenal job. Total of 4 hits.
Yeah.
So, against the Dodgers. Come on. That's amazing. And again, pissed away by the offense. But
no, they won that game.
They did. The ball.
Yeah, they won the bullpen day.
Oh, shit. I thought there was a second game.
7-2.
Oh, how about it?
How about
Great job, gang. I was a game ahead there.
There you go. That was because that's the game where Ellie went 4 for 4.
Yeah.
With 4 steals. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Call Ellie De La Cruz. Boom. You're welcome. Yeah. I mean, and so he did the 5. Sims, clean. Mole got touched up a little bit, but Buck Farmer came in clean. 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks. Overall, for your bullpen and your swingman, Nick Martinez, 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 11 Ks. They attacked him with spinning the ball and breaking the ball on him.
With militant precision. They went in there, knew their job, went in, got it done. Next dude up. Loved it.
Yeah, and that's how you're supposed to attack the Dodgers. You can't attack them with velocity because they pound the fastball. So what do? Throw everyone at them who spins it.
Get location, get spins, give them different looks.
Yeah.
Keep them off balance. Don't let them get comfortable.
Yeah, Nick Martinez has like 4 breaking balls.
Love it. That was awesome.
Yeah, so it was a perfect fit for him to go up against the Dodgers.
Dude, 5 innings, 1 hit for him.
Yeah.
For your swing guy.
Yeah. That's what we wanted from him. And honestly, it makes me think going into this weekend where he's going to be against the Padres, you almost want to recreate that.
I was going to say, they should probably use this as a bit of a format going forward for some team.
I agree. But the problem, it's not really a problem. The Dodgers lineup isn't as long. Or the Padres lineup isn't as long as the Dodgers.
Right.
So I don't know that you really have to do it. But if you can, and it kind of lifts the weight off of Nick's shoulders because he's not starting, he's back into his kind of bullpen routine.
Yeah.
maybe you do it, but I guess they might have had a conversation. Him, David, and Derek were like, moving forward, what are you more comfortable with? And he was like, probably just starting. But we'll see. And I hope that he starts, and he starts against his old team, and he gets a good ass revenge game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It just gives me a lot more confidence seeing how, as a unit, the bullpen can really stick together and turn into a performance like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Frankie went out there, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 1 K. But not terrible. That's enough to keep you in the game.
For sure.
Because you're, 5 innings. Okay, you're eating up a good chunk of the game, a little over half. Great.
Yeah, he didn't really seem to be feeling as much as what he's used to. His control wasn't quite exactly there. So, yeah, he didn't do awful, but you could tell he didn't exactly have the stuff that he was used to, but kept him in the game. Very serviceable start, but didn't win that one.
And Shohei Ohtani and Frankie got history. Because, playing with the A's and then him with the Angels, they faced each other a lot. And Shohei won most of those battles.
Yeah,
and then he did it again. Yeah. 2 of those earned runs were from one swing of Shohei's bat.
And that was on Shohei Day in L.A. So how about that?
How about that? You know what? I made 17 bets that day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How'd they turn out?
Oh, not good. I owe some guy in California a lot of money.
Oh.
Yeah, come get me. Come find me. Yeah, right. That's fine. Right now we're watching and Yamamoto's on the mound for the Dodgers, which is pretty cool. We did not have to see him, but we did see Walker Buehler, and Christ, he was locked in.
Yeah, dude, he was looking real slick.
It didn't help that our offense has been sputtering, but he just was cutting us up with knuckle curve after fastball after changeup. It was like, oh, come on. Give us a break here.
Yeah, those super slow breaking pitches does not bode well for the Reds, especially, Ellie was having a heck of a time trying to hit a knuckle curve. He was really cutting up the Reds. But, yeah, dude, that slow off-speed stuff is the kryptonite for the Reds offense.
That and left-handers and righties, I guess, at this point. Good Lord. Dude, 6 innings, no runs, 3 hits, no walks, 7 Ks. He threw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pitches.
That'll keep you off balance.
That'll keep you real off balance.
And he was doing good at locating and tunneling pitches. Great layering of pitches.
Dude, so much in the zone. And then when he went out of the zone high, it was intentional. And they chased, i.e. Mike Ford. So, man, that'd be cool if the Reds could sign him next year.
That'd be pretty cool.
Man, that'd be awesome. But yeah, and then you got Ashcraft again, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Serviceable. Not elite. Not bad. Again, serviceable. What was interesting about this is that he switched up to his slider. He threw that more than his cutter.
Yeah, the game previous, the cutter wasn't working so well for him, was it?
No.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of his pitches seem like they're just gliding on ice, which can be good if he's knows how to locate, but a lot of times it leaves his hand, and your guess is as good as his, which isn't that great.
No, and that doesn't really help when your velocity is 96, 97, 98, because you're I don't know. Like a knuckleball that floats in there, they're I'm not used to this type of speed. But then they're 96, 97, I'm used to this type of speed if it's going to end up right here.
Yeah, he throws a lot of hard stuff, and major league hitters are familiar with that. If your stuff that's supposed to break doesn't really break too well, we get in these situations, and of course he's going much deeper into it to counts and what you would like to see, and it gets back to the control of pitches, getting that first pitch strike, not pitching behind on batters.
Oh, indeed. You know what I really wanted to see here, though? That he didn't do? Curveball.
Yeah.
Curveball.
None.
If you can't have a feel for your cutter and you think you've got a feel for your slider, You know what? Just try it. See if you have a feel for your curveball.
Yeah, all these pitches, his changeup, okay.
4 times.
His changeup he threw 4 times, but the miles per hour is 90 miles per hour. His cutter that he's throwing is 95. There's not a huge jump in difference there. I do like pitches that have a very close, similar velocity, but if it's just that group of pitches and not anything to dip down even further in terms of miles per hour, it gets a little too easy to sit on that velocity.
Yes, it becomes a flat fastball. Yeah, exactly. Then they can sit on it and turn on it, which is why you haven't seen him throw it a whole lot this year. And you can see that he's reaching because he's like, fuck it, I guess I'll try my changeup.
Yeah. You know, and if you're off like a little bit, it's still going either up or down the bat barrel a little bit. So you're probably still going to put the bat on it. But yeah, combine that with lack of control. It's just you're putting the hitter in a better situation that you're putting yourself.
Oh, yeah. But again, that is a serviceable start.
True, totally. We were analyzing the hell out of pitchers because there's not a lot to talk with positive on offense.
Because, well, then you keep it rolling for Hunter Green. 6 1/3, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 8 Ks against a long Dodgers lineup. Man, he threw his curveball 3 times, his splitter 8 times, and then just kept pounding him with the fastball with an uptick in his velocity, and the average velocity was 98.8 miles per hour. He was juiced to play at Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, he was feeling it, and he was not going out like throwing like 100, 101 start. He was saving like a little bit of juice. You can tell like he's figuring out how to hit the accelerator on his fastballs and when to like start to like pepper in the off-speed pitches. I think he's starting to get a better feel for the splitter, better feel for the curveball. That makes his other pitches, feel more confident when he's throwing them.
100%, man. Yes. Because that's what we wanted from him, to learn how to pitch, and he's doing it, and to not just be like, I can throw 101 the whole time. It's like, no, dude, wait on it.
Yeah, get us into the 7th.
Get us into the 7th, and also get yourself in a situation where you can rack up Ks and then pull into your back pocket for 102 in the upper part of the zone.
For sure.
So, man, love to see it. And then again, heartbreaking that he loses that one in extras.
Yeah, that seemed a very winnable game. There was a handful of winnable games that they played over the past week, and this was certainly one of them.
God, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It's just devastating, man. Like, you only look at the bullpen for the week. There were 2 glaring problems. There were 2. That we'll go and get into both of them. But Sam Maul had 1 outing against the Dodgers that was not good. He gave up 2 earned runs, and that was in kind of garbage time when the pen was pulling it out late in that first game against the Dodgers that they won. But then he came back through 2/3 of an inning on Sunday. No earned runs. Back to what we expect from him.
Yes.
So it's hard to, and it's also so hard this early in the season to take bullpen ERA, full bullpen ERA into account when you look at the situation that is the Reds bullpen. It's an improvement over last year.
Oh, 100%.
It is an improvement. They haven't also had to rely on them as much as they did down the stretch like they did last year. But you look at this core and you're like, this is a better group overall, except for one guy. But Fernando Cruz did not have a good week.
He didn't.
He did not. His fastball control's gotten the best of him. I think that's just the biggest problem. If you look at the week for Fernando Cruz, 3 2/3 innings, and he gave up 4 earned runs, 4 walks. The walks are what killed him.
Yeah, that's been a big bugaboo for him as of late. I have full confidence in Cruz, and we'll get to the other guy here in a little bit. But as of right now, he's going through it. Control has been an issue, and with a lot of these guys, when they're lacking control, the confidence tends to go with it, and they start to second guess. Like, oh, is this a good pitch? Can I throw it that hard? And then they start to overdo it and, have issues, and that's, what Cruz is going through.
And that he had that one bad outing in San Diego, And that's kind of when he started to spiral a little bit because he was just locked in for a while. And you could see that he wasn't placing his fastball where he used to on the edges of the plate. And he hasn't been living there lately. It's just everywhere. And then you use that fastball to set up that nasty splitter.
Exactly. That fastball does a great job because it sets up one of the best, breaking pitches currently in the MLB. But when he's not accurate with that, it doesn't bode well for the setup or for the pitch that's coming after. And he was also kind of leaving that up a little bit. I think he's in his head too with that. It's like, oh, my fastball's not working. Does that mean my splitter's not working? And it just keeps compiling and compiling for him.
Yeah. And he's just like, well, then you go out and then you have these mediocre, if not terrible performances. I think he'll bounce back. Totally. I think he'll find it. I don't have any doubt that he will. It's just a bummer that it's happening now. But if you think about it, if you already have one facet of your game that's not working, as in your offense, might as well get it out of your system now and be bad while you're already bad.
That is a good point. If you want to be bad and get all these yips and stuff out of the way with now, do it when the offense is doing absolutely nothing. Have some bad games. Leave your slider up or something and throw a cement mixer across the plate. If you're not getting any run support, hey, it doesn't really matter.
Right. And he's not going anywhere anyways. He's not a free agent again until like 2027 or something. Yeah. And they're not going to DFA him. They're not going to do that either. There is a possibility they could send him down if there is a better replacement in AAA. But at the moment, I don't see one.
No, in all seriousness, Cruz is a great pitcher. I'm not worried about him. He's just going through it a little bit. And it's so magnified because the offense has not been there.
Yeah.
So he could have had these issues, and they still could have won. And we probably wouldn't be talking about it as much. It at least wouldn't be viewed as a problem. No. It'd just be viewed as, just something that Cruz is just going to deal with. But fortunately, everyone else in the ball clubs is doing what they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Where it's just, fuck that guy. Get him. No. Okay. Alexis Diaz. He did not have a good week. He's not had a really good stretch. He hasn't had a save since May 10th. Today's the 20th. You're listening to this on the 21st. So by the time you're listening to this, he would not have had a save in 11 days. It is tough to be a closer if you aren't saving games.
Very much so. You kind of get viewed as like the punter or like the field goal kicker. Like no one really cares about it if you're making field goals. But as soon as you don't, everything gets put on you.
It's like, hey, easy. No. But it's also, if you look, they weren't really putting him in situations to close games.
Very true.
They were putting him in situations that were high leverage, not closing the door, high leverage to keep the game going. And what have we said on this podcast about David Bell?
He really doesn't mind putting closers into non-closing situations and having them then not do well. We saw it previously with other closers. We've seen it with Diaz now, where it just seems to be you put them in these situations and you're asking them in these non-closing situations like, hey, do this, but do it with your opposite hand. Like they have to start thinking about it,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I want you to get out of your routine, the thing that you're really good at and what you do. So before you go out there, we're going to spit in one of your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So look, David Bell did the same thing with Raisel Iglesias. I'm pretty sure he's doing a really good job in Atlanta. And they stumbled into Alexis Diaz. They have another guy who is a closer. And look, I get it. On May 13th, against Arizona that Monday, and he blew it. He had a walk problem, and then Kevin Newman hit a single to bring in those 2 runs. But aside from that, before May 10th, didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to close games because the Reds are 3-14 in the month of May.
Yeah, he's not getting a lot of work in, but that's not his fault. And like we were just saying, it's a different situation going in a non-closing, non-competitive situation, at least to Diaz. It seems very evident that when he gets in there and game is on the line, that's when, Eye of the Tiger kicks in, you know?
That's when the reggaeton hits.
Yeah.
That's when the salsa comes on.
That's when his internal trumpets start going off.
He's thinking of his brother's walkout song, dude. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. And then the Dodgers, the Shohei single was not a save situation, yet just another high leverage situation and going, we need you to take care of these three batters, the three best batters in the Dodgers lineup, including Shohei Ohtani. And there's a reason he gets paid $700 million for the next 9 million years, is because he stepped up, he did it in that situation, and knocked in the runner from second with that single in the right field.
Yeah, it was a bummer, and up to that point, we really shouldn't even been in that situation. That game shouldn't have went to extras. We had Ellie as our ghost runner, and there didn't even get off second base.
Yep.
I was very confused. I thought for sure he was going to be on third with at least one out.
Bunt him over.
Yeah, dude, didn't happen. Some questionable calls, but ultimately, the offense not participating in a lot of these games is getting them in these situations.
Right. So you're asking this guy to go out of his comfort zone to do what he doesn't do well, just so he can get some work in, because he's not getting put into the situation where he succeeds and was an all-star last year. Mm-hmm. So how are you expecting him to react? And that's how I expect him to react, is by how he's pitching right now.
Yeah, and I understand, like, it's a high leverage situation. You're paying these guys a lot of money. They're talented athletes. You think, like, well, they should be able to go in and do it.
It's not
no
the
matter.
same.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about something. I'll come back to it.
It's just not the same. You are asking him to go out and do something that, when you are a closer, you have a routine. Mm-hmm. You have what you want to do to get to that spot. And guess what? He's been asked to go out of that and do it. He'll publicly say, "Oh, yeah, no. I want to pitch for this team. I want to figure it out. I'll go wherever they need me." But privately, I'm telling you right now, he is in there livid going, I only close games. I know that for a fact, because I heard from somebody that Raisel Iglesias went to ownership and said, I close games. Don't put me in these situations. And David said, I'm the manager. I'm going to put him in these situations. And Nick Krall said, I'm the GM. I helped build this out. I'm going to put you in that situation too. And then someone had to step in and say, no, he closes. Mm-hmm. And then what happened that next year? He got traded because he wasn't playing along with the plan. Are we going to do that again to another closer?
I really hope we don't, because I feel, at least last year, we're looking at it, we were doing, like, putting checks next to boxes of players that we have, like, locked down. We're thinking about shortstop, center fielder. Closer seems to be check box.
Yeah.
In my mind. So hopefully we don't put them down a path that's going to do anything to disrupt that.
Yep.
But currently we're in a little murky situation. But again, I have full confidence that Alexis is going to get out of this. And of course, once, he's in his typical closing situations, I think these numbers will show, that he is an all-star. He is at, one of the top closers in baseball.
Yeah. And if you think about it, before that save on 5-10 in San Francisco, he didn't save a game in May.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think I'm right here, because, dude, imagine that you have 11 days off of work, and then they're just like, oh yeah, can you come in real quick? We need you to do something really high end for us, real stressful and real quick, and be like, what? But I haven't done it in so long.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult.
It's just crazy. It's just, yeah, dude. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he hadn't had a save since 4/29, because then he went in 5-5 against Baltimore, and that's because they just kept getting blown out that series.
Yeah, he's not getting a lot of opportunities. No. So, I mean, what can you do? I mean, it's just like thinking like the punter is the reason why your team isn't doing well.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, if you keep putting them back out on the field, I mean, it's because you guys aren't doing something right. A little bit opposite here.
Yeah. He blew the 330 save. Okay. And then he blew Arizona, which he didn't have a blown save until like August last year. But again, he has 7 saves already. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's just foolish for anyone to say that he needs to be demoted out of that role when he hasn't been given the opportunity a lot this year to be in that role.
Yeah, that's just like a quick thing to say for people that haven't really analyzed or aren't really paying attention. If you're just getting like the little bullet points and saying that Alexis, blew a save, or he was the last guy that was pitching when Shohei got the hit, you might just take that and be like, well, he's lost it. Typical Red stuff here. But that's not at all what's happening. He's a very talented pitcher.
Young.
Young dude. He's going to be totally fine here. The Reds need to give him more opportunities to be in a winning game to where he can close and be the closer, the stopper that we know that he is, as opposed to just kind of tinkering around and just trying to get him some work in high leverage situations. That isn't exactly how he plays.
Bingo. Getting him into that situation, because this offense sure as shit hasn't. They are rocking this last week a 24.7% strikeout rate. 232, 282, 363 with a weighted runs created plus of 78, well below average, and a negative .1 WAR. Bad. That's bad.
Bad.
Very bad.
Bad.
Bad. I'm glad we're disciplining him, dude.
I know, it's spraying him with water.
Just getting out the paddle, getting ready to spank him like I'm back in elementary school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did they spank at your elementary school?
They didn't, but we did have the nun, the principal, did threaten it. Like she had a ruler and would hold it and look at you sternly.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't do anything fun. No matter how much I requested, you sure don't want to paddle me?
Sure. I saw a kid get paddled once.
Oh yeah.
Mine. Yeah. My principal, she had a paddle, and on the top of it had a little ornament, and it was a clown crying. Oh yeah. And I just watched her wail on a kid one time.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was awesome. Yeah, I got threatened with it, but I never got it. So that's not my kink.
Unfortunately.
What a bummer. Jeez. There was some good with this offense this week. 2 players. We got 2 of them. Mm-hmm. Tyler Stevenson, 524, 545, 810. Boy, yo, 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 yoing.
Yeah, offensively and defensively, he just seems to be on top of it right now.
He's really taken that next step that we needed him to take, and that we were hoping he would. And when we talked about with the metrics, dude, of him barreling it and putting good wood on it, and that eventually would fall. One of those balls fell into the back, over the wall, and into the seats this week. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, he had 3 doubles, 7 singles on 11 hits.
Yeah, and timely. I think he had a handful of 2-out hits. Throughout the course of the last couple series. And yeah, he's been looking good, hitting the balls hard. They're falling for him, and yeah, he's looking great at the plate.
He is exactly who we thought he was going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's improved so much behind the plate.
He has. Dude, his blocking has gotten so much better. He's stolen a few more strikes. Like, he's definitely improved on pulling in those edges. Mm-hmm. Those are little things that we notice. And you should be catching up on those too, because he's a big reason why we were hoping that they would take this next step. He's doing it. It's just everyone else isn't.
Yeah, and also talking about, we were just talking about how well the pitchers have been doing. Tyler Stevenson has been a big component of that, calling games behind the plate for the most part and doing a great job, keeping hitters off balance. That is very much reflective on how he's been performing.
Couldn't agree with you more. This is a pro Tyler Stevenson podcast. Always has been, always will be. Mm-hmm. And he's just making us look even better. So now we have to say something negative, so he keeps doing this. He's too nice.
That haircut, oh man, it's really smooth.
His gear's weird when it's on the road. It's like gray. Boo.
I heard he's a good family man.
I heard he loves his wife. Ew.
Oh, he's well spoken. Idiot.
God. Oh, he genuinely cares about his teammates.
Donates to charity. Whatever.
Good guys. Ugh.
He's gonna hit 500 the next series.
Yeah. God, I hope so. After that reaming we gave him.
Yeah, really gave it to him. Sorry about that, buddy.
Sorry, pal. You know we're pro Ty Steve, pro QB1, but we had to really give you the business to keep up the good work. This little feller's Stuart Fairchild.
Look at him go.
Look at that little guy go. 455, 500, 909 with the homer off of James Paxton.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, screw him.
Yeah, boom.
You idiot. Your hair's done.
You're too sweet of a boy.
You run around a lot and make good plays in the outfield, dummy.
Dummy. Man, I'm telling you, there are weeks where he surprises me.
Yeah, he surprises me a lot too. One thing I kind of like, and sometimes it bites you in the butt, he doesn't wait around a whole lot in the box. He swings at a lot of first pitches. Yep. He doesn't get too deep in accounts, but he's choosing the right ones to swing at. And it's been working. I've been digging it.
I'm into it. I'm into it, buddy. And this is in 5 games, 11 plate appearances, 5 hits, 2 singles, 2 doubles, homer, 3 runs, 3 RBIs with a little walk. Only 2 strikeouts. Okay, 5 games. That's a real nice week. Santiago Espinal and Jeimer Candelario were productive enough, especially with Santiago 263, Candelario 259. Just, okay, serviceable enough.
Showing that he's still staying out of that funk that he was in.
Yeah, just that he's been building. And that that after each week it's getting better and that he's not going to be Mike Moustakas 2.0.
Yeah, he's not dipping down to where he just was. He seems like he's built, feeling a lot better. So I feel a lot better at what I do now than I did previously.
I agree.
Jeimer.
I don't see him being as lost. And I see what's really reassuring too with that too, with it's just the balls are starting to land for him. His BABIP 304. It would be nice to see his walk rate not be 0. It would be nice. That just means he is swinging, just trying to get on. But what is nice though is the 14.3% strikeout rate. That means he's below league average.
Yeah, and before that, it was pretty bad. I can't recall what it was, but it was not good.
Okay. Elly De La Cruz. 2 things. 1, on Thursday, he went 4 for 4 with 4 stolen bases. That is absolutely incredible. On the other hand, the rest of the week, 222, 276, 259. 41.4% strikeout rate to a 6.9 nice walk rate.
He seemed to have a different game plan after that 4 for 4 night.
Yes.
I don't know what it was. It seemed like he may have been trying to swing harder, hit the ball further. It just didn't seem to be the 4 for 4 night where he's locked in, taking pitches, going the other way, dropping it off. He was still making hard contact, but still just doing what, the pitch necessitates. He wasn't playing outside of, that realm of like possibilities. He wasn't trying to like pull everything that was outside, and he was definitely chasing a whole bunch on these like knuckle curves and slow pitches, the game after that 4 for 4.
Yeah, he was getting burned below the knees.
Yeah.
And I think that 4 for 4 night was amazing, but I also think it was a curse because you're right. He was going outside of himself. And he was pushing to be like, LA's my city, LA's my town, I love LA. So then again, you're putting pressure on yourself, like, how do you top 4 for 4 with 4 steals?
Yeah.
Here's how you don't, is what happened the rest of the week. We know that this is kind of stuff that is bound to happen with him, but it's like, man, the 41.4% strikeout rate, don't be so hard on yourself that you have to bounce back and be Superman every day.
Dude, absolutely. Just get on base. You're going to end up at second or third regardless. It doesn't really matter how hard you hit it. Those big, cuts that you're taking, you're not connecting with them, but I understand, you're seeing a lot of great pitches, great pitchers out, in LA recently. But he was definitely swinging out of his shoes, chasing pitches that were falling below the zone and watching ones that you really should have capitalized on.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, man. There's no way he's going to steal 100 bases if he doesn't get on. Mm-hmm. If he reduces the strikeout rate, which he was for a long time. There was that stretch where he was Superman for 2 weeks. And that was mostly because his strikeout rate dipped. He walked more. Mm-hmm. And when he starts to press and do this is the end result.
And the pitchers, put the pressure back on the pitchers. When they know that he has good command of the zone, that's when things get hairy for them. When they see him swinging at stuff below the zone, trying to hit a ball 500 feet, that's when the pitchers know, like, okay, I'm going to set him up, and then he's going to swing it whatever I want him to.
Yep.
And like you were saying, like, he was trying to top a 4-for-4 night. You don't need to do that. So it did seem like he tried to elevate what he was doing, but much like pitchers just trying to throw it as hard as they can, the results are minimal.
Yeah. He also felt like he needed to top that 4-for-4 night because of how rough the other half of this lineup's been.
Yeah, he was trying to put the lineup on his shoulders too, I think.
Yeah, 100%. He really wanted to do that and be like, I'm the reason, and then in the national spotlight, especially with it being in Los Angeles. That's what he wanted to do, and then just those other 3 games didn't work out for him.
I agree.
It sucks, and I feel bad for the guy. He loves LA. It's his city.
He played GTA.
4-4 steal. Dude, then you look at the rest, and this is where it's a tricky sitch. So you look at Jonathan India. You look at Mike Ford, which we know Mike Ford is a temporary solution to a problem that's coming to be fixed in June. So can't really get too hard on him. Then you look at Willie B, Jake Fraley, and Spencer Steer. Okay. Benson had 2 home runs last week. That's really cool. But that is half of his hits for the whole week.
Yeah, he went pretty cold after they had that nice leadoff homer when we won that game against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But after that, he seemed to get diced up a bit. He was going deep into some counts, but his lack of production it counteracts the home run that he had, the 2.
Yep. 167, 286, 417. That slugs high because of those 2 homers. 35.7% strikeout rate with a 10.7% walk rate. You need that number for his walk rate for this guy to succeed. That number needs to be higher.
Yeah, he's got a good eye for the zone. I think he was chasing some pitches. I think a lot of times he really wants to show that he can hit left-handers, and they love to come up in on him, and he loves to try and hit that pitch. Doesn't have the greatest payoff. Normally he swings through it because it's coming right up under the hands, normally just a ball. That walk rate needs to be much higher, and it can totally happen. He's got a great eye for the zone. I think he just didn't really have a great week here.
No, he did not. And then Jake Fraley cooled off at the exact wrong time. You can tell he's pushing 0.0% walk rate with a 37.5% K rate. And again, Jake Fraley, 130, 125, 217. That's terrible.
Yeah, really not good. And they aren't going up against great, pitching staffs here. However, they're being selective at the wrong times. I feel like I don't like seeing when there's a nice fastball, even like an easy to hit breaking ball come across the plate, that they choose to let go, and all of a sudden they get behind, and then all of a sudden it feels like the pitcher's got them, and then they start deviating away from what their game plan is. It's like being selective with your pitches. Next man up mentality. It's starting to feel like, oh no, I have got to hit a triple, a double. I've got to do so much here. And they start playing outside themselves. And that's where the Reds just kind of like dissipate away from being a cohesive unit.
Yeah, falls right apart.
Yeah.
And look, when you said they went up against good pitching, they went up against two guys who I think are good, and one is very good at baseball. Brandon Pfaadt had a day, 8 Ks against him, which again, with his slider and them not being patient, field day for the guy. Then Walker Buehler, really good at baseball, and reminded all of us of that. But the rest of the guys aren't anything that they shouldn't have been able to take advantage of, and maybe that's in the back of their head too. They're like, man, we got owned by this guy named C. Sony. And we got this Italian meatball on the mound hurling at us, so we couldn't take advantage of him.
Yeah, that's got to be in their crawl a little bit there too. Like when they're not winning the games they should be winning or capitalizing on that opportunities where they're familiar with normally doing so.
Yep. Where they're just like, man, we normally would have touched this guy up, and then they're like, we're just all in a funk. Maybe they just need to like have a group outing at Chuck E. Cheese and play some Pop-A-Shot and eat some pizza and be just guys, you know?
Yeah, have a little lock in, eat some pizza, go to the Y, you know?
Go to the Y. Or they could go to Lux Views.
They could.
They could meet us at Lux Views,
There's
baby.
plenty of parking.
Quick walk for us, you know? I hear new ownership put in new booths, you know?
Yeah, and that smelly carpet is no longer there.
It's gone. They threw it away with the bed bugs. No more bed bugs.
Yeah, the mold is almost gone as well. Come on down the Lux Views.
Lux Views, where you'll get spanked.
Yeah. Now HPV free, sort of.
Yeah, Lux Views, we definitely didn't have bed bugs, and we for sure don't now.
We aren't liable.
We aren't liable, we promise. And it's crazy. That's all on the sign.
It's a big sign.
It's a huge one.
All neon, hard to read, but big.
But big. It all bunches up together, but you know, you won't get bed bugs.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If you're going there, you already got bed bugs.
You already got bed
You
bugs.
already got the bed bugs.
Yeah, you got butt bed sores. Come on. This is a transition. Spencer Steer, our boy.
I know. This is hard to talk about.
Okay, for the week, 0.050 batting average. That's something.
Yeah,
136 on base percentage, 100 slugging. Dude,
this isn't Spencer Steer.
1 hit in his last 28 Bs. For the month of May, 167, 274, 259, 1 homer, 4 runs, 10 RBIs.
He is one of those guys that you think his slumps are going to be so minimal and few and far between. But, man, he's in the thick of it right now.
Now, there is one thing that I didn't know until doing a little bit more research. I guess he has an ankle injury and he's trying to play through it. If you're going to play like this, take the time off.
Yeah, there's no real purpose. If it truly is the ankle injury that is affecting, it has to be affecting him to some degree. I'm not sure how severe the ankle injury is, but trying to catch up with really fast fastballs and trying to do what you got to do at the plate to be a professional hitter, it's going to have some effects, and I think we're seeing it here with these numbers.
Yeah, there is some replacement level players in AAA who would produce more.
I would have no problem if this really is a side effect of the ankle injury. Take the week off because I mean I imagine it's not a severe thing, and if you can take a week off for some sort of, if it's a light sprain or whatever it would be, I would much rather see the productivity after him having a week off and having somebody else up here as opposed to him keep trudging through this and keep compacting that injury.
Yep, same thing. It's like take the 10 days, just like with CES, man, with his hand, where it's like, I'm going to try and play through, and it's like, bro, you clearly can't. And it's like, cool, now he's out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, didn't help at all. Hurt the team.
Actually hurt you more because you could have taken that time off earlier to let it heal. So stop forcing yourself to do it. Stop pushing through. Get better because this is a long season, and you're not going anywhere. Might as well deep breath. I think I'm pretty hurt. Go and fix it. Be better in like 3 weeks or whatever it may be.
Totally. Now's not the time to try and play through this sort of mishap injury.
Yep, that's in September.
Yeah, you got to wait for that. I mean, we need you much more, in September as we do right now in May.
Yeah. So hopefully they go through and they check the ankle out and there's nothing really there, and then it's just they give a little rub down, spit on it, and it's good. But then if it's bad and they're like, man, it's a couple weeks, then you put them on the IL and you bring up Dunn and you roll forward, because you got enough already people hurt and everything. Might as well figure out what you got with some of these guys who are up in your system.
I agree. Dude, I don't want him to be injured, but you can't compact the injury and make it worse. It's a bummer, but if he needs to be on the IL, that's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do, because you're hurting more than helping. And Jonathan India hasn't been much better either. 176, 300, 176 last week. For the month of May, 204, 295, 278. 1 home run, 3 runs, 1 RBI. Is he hurt too? What is going on?
Dog, I have no idea. I think they need to do more earthing, walking around maybe pregame with their socks off on the field.
Okay.
Maybe that's the problem.
I couldn't agree with you more. Maybe he needs more crystals in his back pocket.
He doesn't have enough crystals.
Not enough crystals. Fuck.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be. I mean, much like winning, it's contagious. And I think just the way this team plays, they're a tight group of boys. And I think when one's feeling off, a lot of them tend to feel off. So I just really hope the next, this San Diego series they have coming up at home will be something that is just like, all right, we're back home. We got the home crowd behind us here. Let's play some ball.
Let's do it. Let's get it together. Just to make it worse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters last week batted under 225 for the week. So, look, we have laid this all out for you, okay? All of these guys aren't hitting. Marte's hurt. Marte is suspended. TJ Friel out for now 4 to 5 more weeks. CES out for, probably 3 more weeks. I need to know how this is David Bell's fault.
He should have done something different. Why is he not getting the hits out there? I don't know. Not how it was in the Big Red Machine. I'll tell you that much. No, I have no idea. I mean, you can nitpick some things. I mean, there's definitely some things I disagree with David Bell. However, there isn't I can't imagine how I could place any of this blame on David Bell. He's not up there striking out. He's not up there not getting RBIs. The pitching hasn't been. It's been relatively good. It's just the offense, and David Bell isn't the offense.
Absolutely, he's not the offense. David Bell also isn't Alexis Diaz. He also isn't Fernando Cruz. He also isn't I don't know. He's also not Matt McClain. Dude, give the guy a break.
I know everyone had such high expectations. I for sure did, and I still think that this is a competitive team even with the injuries, and we still have a chance for playoffs here. Considering all the injuries that they had to very key, crucial players and the expected, productivity that they were going to have, I don't understand how you can then look at that and then point to one person. It's asinine.
It's silly. Dude, not only, like I said, with TJ Friel and Matt McClain, and with Spencer Steer not hitting, that's essentially your leaders in WAR.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that is all David Bell's fault.
Yeah, what is he not doing? How come, you look at the general managers, what's their WAR, huh?
Yeah.
His is dipping. Come on, DB.
Come on. It's also not like when you looked at this lineup and you said, oh, man, you know what this offense could really use is some type of guaranteed pop. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't do anything. They didn't sign JD Martinez. They didn't go out and get a DH, which they could have done, all the way up until almost opening day.
Yeah.
Is that David Bell's fault?
No, it is not.
Okay, great. It's just ridiculous. Shut your yap if you're going to open it and say, yeah, no, it's all the manager's fault. Reseal it and go walk into the river. That's all you need to do before you sit and be like, well, he makes all the lineups and all this stuff. You got to have players to hit, to score runs, to make plays defensively, to win games. And that's not going to change no matter what phone call he has with Nick Krall to be like, yeah, okay, he's leading off. Where should I put Espinal? Yeah, no, we have to play him because Marte is still suspended.
Yeah, take the lineups that they do have. How would you put them and construct a lineup where most of the people are hitting below the Mendoza line? How are you going to configure that to squeeze out some runs? The math doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
So, I don't know.
You can look at all the numbers we all look at to compile all of this. And you know what's crazy is David Bell and Nick Krall have better numbers than both of us.
They do.
They have a lot better numbers and more extensive numbers to look at and be like, well, actually, if you put this here, like Stuart Fairchild this week going off against James Paxton because he hits lefties well. And we're like, well, does he really? Yeah, they have more information on why he's going to hit a homer off of James Paxton than we will.
Yeah, they're not just willy-nilly coming up with these lineups. There's specific reasons why they're doing what they are doing, and they're working with what they have to work with.
Yep. So there's nothing they can really do now unless someone else goes down or, they're like, well, Capel hasn't really worked out, but he's been fine. If you look at what he did last week, he was in 3 games. He had 7 plate appearances, and he had 2 hits.
There you go.
286. Okay, you can't send him back down because he was 4th in average last week.
Yeah, what can you do?
No.
Also, one good thing, Jacob Hurtubise had his first major league hit. That was nice. And on Military Appreciation Day.
Yeah, good for him. He said, I'm not going to the Air Force. I'm playing baseball. Mm-hmm. And we're like, hell yeah.
Way to go, dude.
The opposite of Ted Williams.
Yeah. Well, he still might get his head chopped off. Who knows?
Who knows?
That's bad.
That's bad. That's bad. Put it in a freezer.
He did get... we were watching it the other day when he got on base, had a pinch run.
Yeah.
Hurtubise did, and he got picked off. Shot down on Military Night.
Shot down.
They gave him a Purple Heart for that. Did you know it? It was that rough.
It was that rough. Poor guy. Poor feller. Man down.
Mm-hmm.
Salute. Nailed it. I don't think I'm allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, just don't blame David Bell. So you can blame Nick Krall if you think that whatever more moves he should have made or getting a power hitting outfielder or a better DH, which that's where I will place some of my blame. Mm-hmm. But all of it falling apart like this, they didn't anticipate. This is sometimes how the cookie crumbles, and especially when it's a year removed from calling up the farm. You have to have time to replenish that farm and to get those guys back up here.
Absolutely.
And sadly, your other big guy, Edwin Arroyo, he's out for the year. Mm-hmm. So that puts him behind schedule with that torn labrum. So it just keeps fucking rolling.
It really does. Shit is rolling downhill, and that has been the Reds season thus far. However, I think it's just going to make it that much of a better story arc come the end of the season when the Reds are at the top of the division.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get through some injuries. Justin Wilson is out with some left shoulder tightness. This is exactly what I said was going to happen when they sent Sam Moll down and they had Justin Wilson here on a guaranteed MLB contract with no options. Why would you DFA him? He's pitching fine. Just pitch him till his shoulder falls off. Here it is. Mm-hmm. This is where the depth is paying off.
He got no shoulder.
He ain't got no shoulder.
He ain't got no shoulder, dog.
Emilio Pagan left the game on Sunday with a slight tricep tweak. Oh, no. Said he's going to be fine. No IL stint. He'll be A-okay. He just said, it felt like my arm just kept going. It wasn't sharp pain. It wasn't a grab. It felt like my triceps overstretched right in the middle. They don't anticipate him to merely miss any time. If anything does come up with it, bummer. But if that's how he says he's feeling, he's a vet. I believe him.
Yeah, I believe him. But at this point, we could see here like a week from now, like, God damn, Pagan, you lied. Your arm fell off. You didn't say anything.
You were carrying it behind your back the whole time?
What is this? Come on. You made me look like a fool. God damn it, David Bell.
This is all David's fault. He should have pitched him. Mm-hmm. He just pulls up his other arm with his arm, and his fingers were crossed on the arm he's holding. Like, doesn't count if it's not attached to my body. Nick Lodolo, he missed a start with a left groin strain. He'll be back by the end of the week. Let's hope that he starts and he pitches, and it isn't a combination of any other injuries that he's had stack up against him. Just really sucked when you got that notification that they hit the IL. But the pitching staff survived without him.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Bullpen day. They were fine.
Yeah, no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. I mean, they didn't win games, but it wasn't their fault they didn't win games because Lodolo was out.
Wasn't needed.
Very cool news here. Brandon Williamson, it says by the end of the month, he went from high A Dayton to AAA Louisville, where he made his second start on May 19th. Over 3 2/3 innings, 56 pitches against Columbus, where he allowed 1 earned run, 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks. And then on May 14th with Dayton, Williamson threw 3 scoreless innings with 1 hit, no walks, and 4 strikeouts while throwing 38 pitches. Great. Get him back up to Louisville. Really get him stretched out. Get him starting. And then guess what? He's your 6th or 7th starter.
I dig it.
Back to the plan. Back on target. Mm-hmm. No problems here. Then that means you send down a Carson Spears. Bring him up. Spot start. Here you go, Brandon.
Yep.
Nothing crazy. Glad. Okay. The rest of your week. 3 at home against the Padres. 3 at home against the Dodgers. And then that's next week. And then the next week, 3 at home against the Cardinals. Then we're going to Chicago, baby.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So, Abbott versus Musgrove. And then you've got Michael King versus Martinez. Old Nick Martinez. Follow that up with Waldron versus Frankie Montes. I like all of those matchups.
I think it could be fun here.
I think we can take 2 out of 3.
I believe we can. Just got to get those bats going. Anything is possible here.
Anything's possible. They're back home after being gone for what feels like a million years.
It really does. I'm hoping they feel like they got that out of the way with them, leave that play in the West Coast, come back home, welcome back. The prodigal sons
They return.
with welcoming arms.
They come home, they land, they grab some cheese conies, they go to Grader's, get some black raspberry chip. Then you go over to UDF, you get a chocolate malt. Look, however you're going to fix it, go to Lux Views. This is what you're going to do because you're going to get home, you're going to get 2 out of 3. It's going to happen. I feel it in my bones.
Same.
Then the Dodgers again. Fuck. Mm-hmm. That just sucks.
Yeah, a bummer, but I am looking forward to playing them again. I did like to... They were competitive, at least, with the Dodgers at times. They show that they have the ability to win against these top-performing teams.
Yep.
And I just hope they got their act together a bit more so they can actually give them a better performance than what they did previously.
Yeah, for sure. So today's Monday. So that means 5 days from now is Saturday, right?
Yep.
So that means Yamamoto's going to be pitching Saturday. Who pitched yesterday against us? It was wasn't Bueller, so we're going to miss Bueller. Fuck, that's really going to bother me. Because Bueller was Saturday, Paxton was Thursday. Paxton was Thursday. Bueller was Friday. Oh, shit. Because I think we can kind of guesstimate what it'll be. Okay. Yeah, Bueller was Saturday. And then Box. We're looking here. We got this under control. Oh, Landon Knack.
That guy.
So it'll be Knack, Yamamoto, Pax. No. Paxton?
I think so.
Okay. So if you can miss Walker Buehler again, but you do have to face Yamamoto. Okay, bold prediction here. I think Yamamoto is going to get lit up in Great American Ballpark.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. Because he's going to be pitching in that humidity. He hasn't pitched anywhere like that and in a bandbox. I think he gives up 2 dongs.
Okay.
I think that
I like it.
I think that also his lines like 5 1/3, 5 earned runs, 7 hits. 3 Ks. I'll give you 3 Ks. I'll let you have that. But I think he's going to get smoked.
I think he's going to get jumped.
I think he's getting jumped, dude. I got a good feeling about it. Because if he's pitching, so he'll be pitching that Saturday. Whoa, big deal on that Saturday. Reds phone wallet night.
Foam wallet?
Yeah, buddy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it's a case, and then it's got the stuff, the thing on the back to put your cards.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, that's my bold hot take for the week. Is that Yamamoto's going to get lit up
On foam wallet night.
on a very memorable Reds phone wallet night. So, but yeah, look, this is bad. It's been very bad, but it can't get any worse than this stretch we just went through. Because once you look at June, and we'll really break it down next week, Cards, Brewers, Cubs, Pirates, we finally play our division.
That's nice. That would be good to actually start playing some of these people that are supposedly in our division.
And they're in front of us.
Yeah.
And you know what? Only 5 games back in the wild card.
Yeah.
You can make that up pretty quick.
You really can. For as bad as we've been playing, we're not really far out. I know it's a lot to start looking at wild card stuff, but hey, we got time. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they can start just clawing back right now against teams in their division, that really makes these games a lot more important. And we aren't playing these giant juggernauts. So let's take it to these guys.
Yeah, we're not playing a team that has a $1.1 billion payroll. Mm-hmm. We're playing against teams that are like young and scrappy.
Mm-hmm. Still take the bus to places. Those are the teams I like.
Yeah. They don't even think about using Uber Black. That is too expensive.
No, they're going Greyhound and just hitching rides.
Yeah, they're like, we're excited the red bike's back.
Yeah, they're using Lime scooters.
Lime scooters. So we'll break down June next week, because that's going to be really fun, getting hyped up and getting amped and get ready for our trip for Ranterfest. But in general, looking forward at that gives me hope for the rest of June and the season moving forward and getting more people back. So let's round third and head for home. What you got, pal?
This Thursday at Motor Pub, the Future Science guys are going to do some stand-up there. And then Saturday, going to be at the Commonwealth Sanctuary for Billy's recording. And then Sunday, that's the actual Future Science sketch show. That's going to start at 9. Y'all are going to be off that Monday because it's Memorial Day. So come on out. Watch a fun show. It isn't stand-up. It's be sketches, some videos. We wear lab coats. We're goofy guys. Come on. What more do you need?
I don't think I need anything else.
Exactly. You're coming. Billy, what do you got?
Okay, listen to me. Saturday, I'm recording my second album and my first video special where it's like video and stuff. Got a shout out in the Enquirer.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was pretty hyped on that. So, oh my God, dude. Will Smith and Freddie Freeman just went back to back.
Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ. The Dodgers, they're real good in May. So come to that. 7:30, Commonwealth Sanctuary. Be there. It's going to be great. It's going to be super fun. And then come to the Future Science on Sunday. And then next weekend, come to Chicago. Mm-hmm. Have a good time,
Yeah, come hang out.
Granterfest, baby. So,
A lot of good comedy to watch this week.
tons. All right, now I got to cut a promo for this shirt. Check this out, okay? 9 innings, 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 0 regrets. Pretty freaking awesome, okay? If you're going to do the 999 challenge, you should be doing it in this shirt. Look, I get it. This is Reds, but that's my team. There's a whole bunch more for your team if you've got them. If you want to go get it, Say you're a Diamondbacks fan. We've got the retro font. Say you're a Dodgers fan. We got the Dodgers font. You a fan of the Phillies? We got the font. Go get it. InTheClutch.com, promo code NastyBoys, all caps, get 10% off. So, but also we have a ton of other great stuff on there too. So please go check it out. Buy this shirt. It's awesome. And mustard stains not included.
Mm-hmm. And if you buy that, they do take 10% off your first triple bypass surgery, which is good. It's good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty great. So thank you to Sports Drink for hosting the audio of this podcast. It is appreciated. And did the In the Clutch thing, do that. Thank you for having me in the Fart Dunge.
Absolutely. Glad to have you down here. And you guys as well. Thanks for coming.
You better fucking be there on Saturday. I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. Seriously, it's going to be a great time. Come on out, watch Billy. There's some other comics on the show. It's a blast. It's a great club. You guys are going to have the best time of your lives.
You're going to have the best, but fucking be there. So, as always, thank you. Go Red Legs.
Go Red Legs.